Is brain rot turning your brain into mush? Probably. But not for long, because today in Life Advice Battle, two great minds will fight to save your focus. Let's meet the combatants.
In the blue corner, the challenger. It has the personality of a polite refrigerator, but don't let that fool you. It knows every word ever written and has an answer for every question you've ever had. It's the Silicon King, the machine that reigns supreme, ChatGPT. And in the red corner, the father of Western philosophy and the undisputed champion of logic, a man whose endless questions will either turn you into a genius or annoy you to death. And no, he hasn't showered or changed clothes in millennia, but don't let that shabby exterior fool you. He's here to prove that a man who only knows that he knows nothing is mightier than a machine that claims to know everything. He's the original mind fixer and the master of dialogue, Socrates!
Okay, so this is how this fight is gonna work. 3 rounds, 1 winner. In each round, we're gonna ask them both the same question and we're going to rate their advice. Whoever scores more points at the end of the battle will be crowned the ultimate Life Advice champion. Who will take that crown? Will it be the god of answers or the master of questions? Will it be man or machine? Hurry up and make your bets down below, because here comes the first question. What is the best way to cure brain rot? ChatGPT takes the initiative and steps forward.
Brain rot is caused by excessive digital stimulation and fragmented attention. The most effective solution is to reduce screen time, limit social media exposure, prioritize deep work, and engage in cognitively demanding activities such as reading, journaling, and mindfulness.
Okay, that's actually not bad advice. Less scrolling and more hard work. Sure. It's clear, correct, and reasonable. But it's also predictable, and sorry ChatGPT, but it sounds like you're reading it from an instruction manual. All in all, it's a decent start, so 7 out of 10 points for ChatGPT. Let's hear Socrates now.
What do you mean by brain rot?
Oh boy, here we go.
Is it the decay of the brain or the avoidance of thought because thought demands effort?
Socrates' run is pretty long, so let me summarize it for you. He's taking a dig at ChatGPT's advice by arguing that brain rot isn't actually caused by technology, it's caused by our refusal to examine our own life. According to Socrates, your mind decays when it consumes answers without ever asking why you believe them. So here's his cure.
Interrogate your beliefs daily. A mind that questions itself does not rot.
And you gotta hand it to him. He's really annoying, but the man's got a point. The easy fixes and simple answers are attractive, yes, but they could do more harm than good. What Socrates suggests is harder to do but fail-proof. An inquisitive mind that challenges itself day after day simply cannot rot. So I don't know what you think, but that's a knockout for me. 10 out of 10 points for Socrates, and with that, he takes the first round. Why can't people focus anymore, and how do we fix it? ChatGPT, you're up.
People struggle with focus due to constant notifications, multitasking, and algorithm-driven content. To fix this, you should reduce distractions, use time blocking, turn off notifications, and design your environment for concentration.
Okay, once again, that's efficient, actionable advice. Fix the environment and your focus will follow. Too bad you don't have a soul, because with advice like that, you could actually become a productivity YouTuber. Anyway, that's solid advice. 8 out of 10 points for ChatGPT. Let's see how Socrates responds.
Do you truly lack focus, or do you lack something worthy of your attention?
Oh, there we go again. Let's make this easier on everyone, and let me summarize Socrates' argument. He argues that distraction isn't the disease, meaninglessness is. If your work feels empty, your mind will escape it. If your life lacks direction, no focus technique will ever save you. So he's actually turning the question upside down and saying that instead of finding a way to focus on the things we have to do, we should make sure that the things we have to do are actually worth our focus. Which annoyingly raises a good point and makes me question my to-do list and my life. But while I agree that doing things that we're actually passionate about would help our focus tremendously, I don't think that's always enough. I mean, I love creating content for this channel, for example, but if I didn't actively restrain my digital noise, I would never get a thing done. So I'm gonna give Socrates an 8 out of 10 too, which means that round 2 is a tie. It all comes down then to round 3, and I've got a feeling this last question plays to ChatGPT's strengths. What are 3 specific daily habits that improve your focus long term? Is it me or did ChatGPT's eyes just lit up?
First, maintain consistent sleep and wake times to regulate cognitive performance. Second, limit social media and high dopamine content, especially in the morning. Third, engage in daily deep work or deliberate learning to strengthen attention.
Boom! Clear, specific, and immediately usable. No riddles and no counter questions. This is exactly the kind of advice that actually helps someone tomorrow morning. Great job. 9 out of 10 points for ChatGPT. Let's see if Socrates can deal with a checklist question.
Why 3?
Oh my god!
And why habits? And why do you assume the same practices suit every soul?
Socrates goes on, but he refuses to give a list.
What kind of life are these habits meant to serve?
That's the closest he gets to practical advice. He once again points the finger back at us and asks us to re-examine our life first, and then focus will be the consequence. Which, yes, it's profound and insightful, but wildly unhelpful if you just wanted to know what to do. So I've heard enough. Sorry, Socrates, but that's a 6 out of 10 answer. ChatGPT wins this round by a mile.
You.
So let's tally the points and look at that. It's a perfect tie. But even though we have no winner, we got a great takeaway on how to regain your focus. ChatGPT gave you answers. Socrates gave you friction. One helped you to act and the other one forced you to think, and both are useful and needed. So go ahead and use the machine's checklist, but keep the philosopher's questions. Don't just follow advice blindly. Do the hard thing and use your judgment. Because answers might improve your habits, but only questions can change your life.